I know I lie between you and lunch, so I'll be as quick as I possibly can. I hope you can understand my accent. Not a Yorkshire one, not even a Cumbrian one, but a North Walian one, the same as David. It's about glaucoma, a condition that people have heard about but don't really understand. And in principle, it's a condition that's brought about not by some very strange risk factors, but simply because the pressure in the brain leads through to the eye and causes the optic nerve to be damaged. And it's a slow process. I'm showing you here the second stage where there has been an effect on the peripheral, but really the major damage occurs over time until in the end the person is effectively blind, unable to read, unable to watch TV, unable to eat unaided, so with a very poor quality of life. The good news is the solution, or at least the management, is pretty simple. A couple of types of drops, once or twice a day, and it can keep it at bay. Outcomes otherwise pretty miserable. It's the second leading cause of blindness across the world. It affects both developed and undeveloped countries. Of course, the big thing is that people don't always know they've got it. That's because the early symptoms are so slight. I don't want to bore you with the statistics, but the significance of age is obvious. And perhaps the bottom line I should leave you with is that there will be there are 500,000 people in England alone who already have glaucoma. That number will increase by about 40% over the next 20 years. And it will be another thing to challenge the NHS, with or without a Brexit dividend. Meet my dad. All good stories have an inspiration. There's my dad, 96. But nobody reaches 96 without those challenges, whether it's diabetes, poor mobility, poor eyesight, a couple of cataracts. He passed away 3 months ago, and he was virtually blind. Why didn't he have the drops? Well, he did. He had the drops and he had the instructions, and the instructions would be great for someone of your age who's trying to put in contact lenses. Wash your hands. Yep, he could manage that one. Pull down the eyelid, apply one drop only, because your eye hasn't the capacity to take more than 2. Then you have to wait a bit, hold on so it doesn't all come out. And then you have to apply the next one. And then before you can carry on with your daily life or go to bed or even walk about, wait 15 minutes. So, not that easy. If your hands are shaking, then the advice you get from NHS is actually pretty poor. Imagine it, tie a weight down to your wrist so it doesn't actually shake as much. So where does it all go wrong with Dad? Dad was something of a digital guinea pig. He'd rejected the pendant alarm for a telecare system, but he did accept a digital credit size alarm where he could press a button simply to get me or my brother or my sister. So he was very happy to try all the available assistive devices, and we got them all for him, and he described them as a chocolate teapot because they were useless. So for 2 years, we didn't realize he had the problem. Only when we went with him for his appointments to the optician or to the specialist did we find out the pressure's getting worse, his eyesight's getting worse, and in the end, of course, he couldn't see. So, what's the challenge? Well, in a sense, the simplest of today. Can we make something that works? Something that works for him, something that's usable. That's the word the occupational therapists would use, because it might sound clever, but if he can't use it, he won't use it. Something that's good for someone who already has eye loss, vision loss, I mean. Someone who has a dexterity issue, the shakes or whatever. Someone who might have a cognitive impairment, which means he may not remember to do it correctly each time. Can we do it so that the compliance improves? Can we get it to check? Actually, can we get it to talk to the rest of the world? Could it be part of the Internet of Things? Because if it was, then the doctors or the opticians or his family or carers, they could all also understand what's going on and perhaps take the right action. Thank you for listening.